Hello, hello, hello. Welcome into the sip. Happy full moon, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. It's so good to be able to be here with you again today for another live stream. Welcome to the sip, everybody. And happy full moon in Aquarius to you. I hope you guys are doing well. What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all, hi y'all. Enjoying the journey, Jeannie B, Varouche, Gabrielle. Hello, everybody. It's so very good to see you. Welcome in. How is everybody feeling today? Y'all, you're saying you're feeling a bit depressed even though you're perfectly happy. I can totally relate to that. I totally understand what you're feeling there. I wouldn't necessarily call it depression though. Actually, whoa, wait a second. Let me fall back a little bit. I don't mean to tell you what you're feeling. I'll talk about it from what I'm experiencing because I'm kind of feeling experiencing kind of the same thing. But for me right now, this feeling is more of just being tired and wanting to rest. Now, with that said, I've been working pretty hard lately, channeling a bunch of readings. I'm doing another cycle of general readings, as you guys sure you've seen, but at this point, I'm doing another cycle of general readings for the collective that are not necessarily tied to the astrology. It's just for the signs, okay? So whatever sign you resonate with, whether it's true sidereal astrology sign or not, that message could possibly be for you. But in this session here today, we are going to be talking about the full moon from the point of view of true sidereal astrology, which places the full moon in Aquarius. Now, also, I will say that there is a little bit of a Piscean energy to this full moon, as well as the full moon will be winding down from its exact opposition between the sun and the moon. That's going to be happening in the constellation of Pisces. So there's going to be a little bit of Piscean energy involved, but really the bulk of this energy is more of an Aquarian feel. Now, I've been working pretty hard and I'm kind of like, okay, I need to take a rest. I need to take a break. But I also feel like we are feeling the effects of this full moon, and we're going to get into the description of those energies. I'm going to pull some cards for the collective to get some extra messages, things to think about, messages Spirit has for us in terms of this full moon. But in my meditation, I did take some time to meditate and rest this morning. Right after I ate breakfast, I was like, "Ooh, okay, I gotta chill for a second." But in that meditation, I was asking Spirit, what message do you have for us for this full moon? And that's where I got the title here, which is The Power to Make Your Dreams Come True. And that's a lot of what I've been talking about. If you did check out the astrology readings for the month of September, a lot of what I was describing when it comes to this full moon is, with it being in Aquarius, this is a time period, this is a moment for us to feel empowered to bring our dreams, our new dreams, some new dreams that may have been activated during the Leo new moon back on August 27th. This time, this moment, this full moon in Aquarius is giving us the power to bring those newly activated dreams and how it is we want to be expressing ourselves, how it is we want to be loving and nurturing ourselves more, that was activated during the new moon in Leo. Now is the time for us to start to bring those dreams into to make your dreams come true. Sorry. Now, on top of that, what's really helping us here is the fact that Mercury is officially starting his retrograde, motion on the 9th, which is the day of the full moon. So Mercury is, at this point, in terms of true sidereal astrology, Mercury is retrograde through the constellation of Virgo, where he is in fact exalted. Okay, Mercury does rule both Gemini and Virgo, but really Mercury feels his best, is most potent, is more comfortable in the sign of Virgo, okay? And like I like to say, when it comes to a retrograde motion of Mercury specifically, Mercury being the planet of learning and communication, This is a really great time to rewrite any programming. And specifically, what I feel for this Mercury retrograde is whatever it is, the new that you want to do, the new ways that you want to express yourself, the new ways that you want to get out there and be out in the world and create for yourself. Mercury retrograde is giving you a really excellent energetic boost in terms of doing your research, learning, developing a new plan of action, especially with the new moon that happened back on October 27th, which was in the constellation of Leo. There could have been a realization for you there of how it is you want to honor yourself more, which I have been feeling is how you're honoring yourself more and or in better ways by nurturing yourself better, taking better care of yourself, really going after the things that it is you truly dream of. And with Mercury moving retrograde through the constellation of Virgo, Virgo is all about perfection, is all about healing also. This retrograde motion of Mercury through the constellation of Virgo is providing us with that opportunity to really start to plan the new or get that new health regimen in place, get that new process in place, do the research in terms of how it is we want to be moving forward in this new. And then on top of that, we do have, in fact, the full moon. And the full moon is a time of empowerment, right? It's a really strong moment. And with the full moon being in Aquarius, Aquarius being the ruler of the 11th house, the 11th house is your house of wishes and dreams, hopes and fears, and also your social associations and social groups. This empowerment energy of the full moon in Aquarius is giving you that power to revolutionize your life in ways that honor you in a much better way, especially since the sun is still, as of this moment, in fact, as of today is the 8th of September, but also on the day of the full moon, which is tomorrow, the 9th of September, the sun will still be in the constellation of Leo. So that energy of self-empowerment and pride, maybe even ego, okay, but also just a sense of empowerment and pride. That energy is still quite active for us here during this time. So now, with all that said, there is a little bit of a counterintuitive feeling here with this, because with the full moon being a time of empowerment, it would seem like, or you would think that there would be like a rush of energy, right? But what I'm feeling personally is a little bit of a collective pullback. If you're feeling tired right now, this is actually, and part of what I was getting from Spirit in terms of my question, what message do you have for us here? I was feeling like this is actually a really good time to pull back and recharge. So instead of expecting yourself to be able to really drive forward or have this really big boost of power, it's actually a really good time for you to be in meditation and allow yourself to cultivate this power, okay? Allow your batteries to be charged during this time so that you can continue to move forward with this energy as time goes on. I also am kind of picking up on here, there is an energy of upgrades happening for us. I feel consciously, mentally, okay, cognitively speaking, I definitely feel like we're getting a bit of an upgrade during this full moon. And that also may be why we're feeling tired right now, or maybe just feeling a little bit down right now. That's definitely happening right now. Excellent, Lauren. It's great to see you. So let's see. Let me get into the chart here for us. Let's look at the chart. All right, guys. So what you have in front of you on your screen is the chart for the full moon, at least the beginning of the full moon energies for September 9th, 2022. As you can see, we have the sun here at 32 degrees of Leo. Then we also have the moon here, which is at this point at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on September 9th. We have the moon at 11 degrees of Aquarius, starting its exact opposition with the sun, okay? Don't worry about the houses change throughout the day, but we're going to talk about the constellations here. Also, as you can see, Mercury at 16 degrees of Virgo is beginning to station retrograde at this time. But then the thing about this energy here is that we have a few squares that are happening, mainly with Mars. Now, Mars has been transiting for a while. Mars is going to be in the constellation of Taurus for a while. And I feel like as we've been building up to this full moon energy here, we've been taking a lot of action, okay? Really starting to get our gears in motion. You may have even been picking up on the Mercury Retrograde energy in its shadow period, starting to feel that desire to move forward, that desire to reconstruct, rewrite your programming, starting to do that research. But now, as we're approaching this full moon, with Mars here, Mars is going to be squaring to the moon for a little bit. Also, Mars is squaring up with the sun, and Mars is squaring with Venus. I feel like this is a big part of why we're feeling this kind of collective pullback. And what I'm feeling with this collective pullback in terms of maybe you're feeling a little bit depressed, maybe, or a little bit down, or just a bit tired. I'm seeing this as, Spirit is showing me this as kind of like that energy of pulling an arrow back in the bow right before you release it and shoot it forward, okay? So really, interesting thing with this full moon right now, you might be feeling yourself, whether it be energetically, it also could be physically in your that's the other thing about the full moon, with it being in Aquarius, also Aquarius being the ruler of the 11th house, that is the house of your social groups and social associations. One of the other things that I was picking up on for the collective in terms of this full moon is paying very close attention to the associations that you have with people. Okay, your collective programming, I just heard. For some of you, this would be a really great time for you to start to branch out. So part of the research that you may be doing during this time period that may be activated for you during the full moon and throughout the course of Mercury's retrograde, which is going to last throughout the month. For some of you, this may be a really great time for you to start seeking out the people, the experts, the masters, maybe the gurus, or maybe the social groups and social associations that would help you achieve your goals or achieve your dreams. Conversely, on the other side of that, some of you may really become starkly aware of how your social interactions, your friends groups, whatnot, whatever, your interpersonal relationships, some of you may be very, very aware of how those associations or some of those associations that you have in your life are not conducive to how you're being influenced to honor yourself in new ways. So part of this kind of collective pullback, or part of how you may feel like you're taking three steps backward, could be you needing to reorganize and figuring out or understanding how you need to reorganize your interpersonal relationships, your friends groups, how it is you want to be associating with your family, maybe even your loved ones here. So, okay, we do have some cards here that have come out. 3 major arcana. You have the Fool with the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. Okay, what I want to say about this for you guys here, especially when it comes to your interpersonal relationships, and this was actually something that I channeled for the Pisces reading yesterday. There was something for Pisces, and this is just a general reading, and here is Pisces right here with the High Priestess. You might want to go watch that reading. Even though you may not have a major Pisces placement, you really might want to go watch that reading, because of the fact that this full moon is kind of winding down in the constellation of Pisces. And part of what I was saying in that reading was pay very close attention to how certain people associate with you, what they say to you, how they speak to you, okay? Maybe even some of the judgments that they are putting upon you. And pay very close attention to that, and juxtaposition that against how it is you want to be honoring yourself in these new ways at this time. Okay, because from there you'll get a strong amount of insight in how it is you want to change your situation, how your situation can change for the better, and how you can take a new leap of faith moving forward towards your dreams, towards your goals, and towards your desires. Overall energy at the bottom of the deck right now is the King of Cups. Having that emotional maturity to look at these interpersonal relationships and social associations and having the emotional maturity and emotional awareness to say, this is going to be tough, but I actually have to either close out completely or limit my associations with these individuals. Now, this also could be translating in your love life. With that said, let's talk about Mars here. Mars is moving through the constellation of Taurus. Mars in Taurus is a really great energy that gives you the tenacity to follow through with what it is you would like to achieve in the physical world, whether this be in terms of money and finances or just in terms of your values system. What it is you value. Something that I've been talking about for the collective lately, a major theme has been, it feels like for many of us, we have grown up or we have evolved in terms of what our values are or what we truly find value in our lives, okay? That could be very connected to how it is you are looking to honor yourself in better ways at this time. So Mars in Taurus is giving you that tenacity and that follow through to really set the groundwork or do the physical work or go through it also gives you a kind of almost a sense of selfishness to really go forward with what it is you want to be creating and building and or achieving in the physical world. Again, whether that be in terms of your money and finances or just your physical values system. With that said, this could actually have a great deal to do with your love and interpersonal relationships, yes, but also love. Some of you, with the square between Mars and Venus that is happening during this full moon, Mars being in the constellation of Taurus, Venus being in the constellation of Leo, okay, Venus being the planet of love and romance, values. Venus is the ruler of both the second house and the seventh house, as Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Mars is in the constellation of Taurus. Even though there is a square here between Mars and Venus, and squares are pretty difficult aspects to deal with, squares create circumstances that are completely out of your control. You have nothing to do with it. It seems like it's a completely external circumstance, but a square influences you to change the way you associate with something or deal with something in order to overcome this challenge, because the same old way of doing it just ain't gonna cut it here, right? So for some of you, this really could be a situation in which you start to intuitively understand, or the universe comes in. I'm almost getting a tower moment here. The universe comes in a really mysterious way and shakes some shit up for you to influence you to make great change in how it is you want to move forward. For some of you, I am picking up on in the fact that you are starting to realize that in terms of what it is you are trying to create, the new ways that you are trying to honor and love yourself, there's that influence between the Sun and Venus being in Leo, with Mars in Taurus squaring with Venus. You might start to realize that this boyfriend, this girlfriend, this fuck buddy, this whatnot, whatever that you've been dating, you've been with, blah, 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 you've been exchanging romantic energies, physical energies with, ain't cutting it, ain't conducive to what it is you really want to be creating in your life. Okay? But really, even though the full moon is a time of empowerment, I'm feeling like this is really a great time to pull back and disconnect and really start to take a bird's eye view of what's going on in your life and how that is either positively or negatively affecting how it is you are pursuing your goals, your dreams, your wishes, and desires. Now, also, as I'm speaking through that, here goes that understanding. Another reason as to why we may be feeling tired or maybe a little bit depressed is because of this Aquarian energy, but it's not what you think. Aquarius is a very detached energy. emotionally detached. And this is why Aquarius tends to get a bad reputation when it you know what I'm saying, when it comes to interpersonal relationships. Sometimes Aquarians, and this also is attributed to the fact that maybe if you're a really negatively aspected Aquarian, you are way too detached in some really negative ways, possibly detrimental ways. But naturally speaking, Aquarius energy has to be emotionally detached, because Aquarius energy is all about revolutionizing or leveling the playing field for all individuals involved, for the collective at large. And if you're emotionally attached to the situation, then you are never going to be able to really achieve the highest goal here when it comes to that Aquarian energy. So actually feeling depressed right now, or feeling like you want to pull back, or just feeling tired, is actually very natural. And it could be Spirit's way or your higher self's way. The High Priestess, a very mysterious thing. It could very well be Spirit, God, Source, Creator, or your higher self's way of influencing you to pull back for a second, influencing you to rest, because in that restful period you will be able to see and perceive of, or begin to understand how it is you need to make changes to really get the ball rolling, and how it is you want to revolutionize your life. This will also most likely give you a point of focus to say, with this Mercury retrograde in Virgo, okay, now I see that, so now how do I figure that out? What's my research? What am I researching here in terms of this? How am I changing this process? How am I changing this programming? What do I need to do to make these changes? But in order for you to see that, you're gonna have to pull back and get that bird's eye view. Yes? Excellent, you guys. I'm loving this for you. I've just been straight up channeling here. Let's get into the collective. How are you guys doing? What's up, Starseed, Monique, Josiah? It's good to see you. Mel K. What's up, baby boo? I'm so happy to see you all here. Yep. 11th house is wishes, fears, hopes, and dreams. That's right. Excellent. Not always good at expressing yourself. So Josiah, this could be a great time for you to learn how to express yourself in better and more exciting ways. Oh my God, Monique, it was your birthday yesterday? Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday to you. Excellent, Josiah. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so happy that all of you are here, yeah? Let's get some more messages. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about here? Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, so you could say that Uranus is ruler of the 11th house. Uranus is squaring up with Saturn still. Saturn is still in the constellation of Capricorn. Both are retrograde. But also draw on your change in sense of self here. All right. I really do feel like this is the time. This is an activation time. Okay. Specifically, since Uranus rules the constellation of Aquarius, and that's what we have our full moon in this time. I feel like however it is you have been, whatever process, radical and extreme process you've been going through in this radical revolutionization of self, I feel like this full moon at this time is really an activation point of all of that, is really where you can start to get the ball rolling in terms of how it is you're moving forward. This the expression of this revolutionizing of your sense of self, okay, with Uranus moving through the constellation of Leo. I'm sorry, not Leo, Aquarius. All right, next card, message that was coming through here for the collective is the Ten of Wands. And the question that we have for you during this full moon in Aquarius, with this influence towards a bird's eye view, the question here is, how have you been burdening yourself, or how are you burdened? Okay, let's get some more with that. Aha, overall energy at the bottom of the deck is the Lovers. Mercurial energy, this is Gemini, but Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercurial energy, how have you been burdening yourself? Ten of Wands. And just like this Aquarius energy revolutionizes all for the collective, it also you are part of the collective, okay? So it's revolutionizing things for yourself. How have you been burdened here? How have you been burdened by trying to serve the collective in an inefficient way, I'm feeling? Understand that however it is you could be removing some of these burdens for yourself will absolutely ultimately help to help you to be there in greater ways for the collective, because you won't be so burdened, okay? But let's get some more on that. But that is your choice. With that Lover's energy at the bottom of the deck, you have the right to choose what's best for you. And if in this bird's eye view of the Aquarian energy here, if you are starting to understand ways that you've been burdened, it is absolutely your choice of what's best for you to release certain burdens and or toxic associations. The next card you have with that is the Sun, indicative of Leo energy, right? And the Sun is actually in the constellation of Leo at the time of this full moon. Again, the Sun doesn't move into the constellation of Virgo until around the 16th of September. Okay, pride in yourself. Don't be overly egoic, but also allow the Sun in Leo influencing you to take greater pride and ultimately take greater care of yourself. Also with Venus being in Leo, allow that to allow you to release the burdens in your life, or at least to become aware of how it is you've been burdened in your life and what it is you can do to drop these burdens. Page of Cups. Apologies, forgiveness, but forgiveness of self. Also more Piscean energy. Like I said, the full moon does kind of incorporate a little bit of Pisces energy because the full moon, the exactness of the full moon does wind down in the constellation of Pisces. So while you have this bird's eye view, right, of understanding how it is you may be burdened, what it is you can release from your life, then with the moon moving into Pisces, that could really give you a boost in terms of forgiving yourself for having carried these burdens at all, okay? Anything else for this Ten of Wands energy, Coke Spirit, for the collective? Uh-oh. 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 Okay. I think we're good now. We're back. Sorry, guys. Oh, hey, well, you changed your name, but hey, CJ. Hello, Dragoness. Sorry, guys. We, for some reason, OBS, my system disconnected, but we're here. We're good. Yes. Mel, you're saying you've been triggered a ton lately on past situations that didn't work out, and it's bringing up a lot of fears for you to work through. Radical realization of self. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Seeking techniques. Hello, darling. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm not streaming on Twitch today. I did want to stream on Twitch for this session, but I, like a silly poo face, decided that I was going to allow OBS to... OBS, which is my streaming software here, allow it to update right before I started the stream, and I didn't realize that, well, I didn't know until it finished updating that the split stream software that I was using to stream between YouTube and Twitch is no longer compatible. So unfortunately, now I got to figure that out, but unfortunately, can't stream this on Twitch right now, but that's okay. Yes, UG Rose, that's right. I recognized your picture, but then you changed your name. Yeah. Okay. The Chariot. This is really about getting you in alignment with a greater sense of soul purpose at this time, okay? Whatever it is you are allowing yourself to become aware of, the Sun. Yes, it's still Ivy, I know. Yes, Rebirth, excellent, I love that. However it is that you're allowing yourself to become aware of what it is you've been burdened by, that's going to help you be in greater alignment. That's actually going to help. I'm kind of getting a bit of an Eight of Wands energy with the Chariot. They are a bit comparable because both of these energies move, both the Eight of Wands and the Chariot move very, very quickly, okay? But I'm also getting the energy of clearing the space for you to be in greater alignment with your soul's path, okay? Okay. Anything else, overall, general energy that you want to talk about here, Spirit? Next message. The Four of Wands. creating a greater foundation for you. I'm also getting a level of enthusiasm here. There is definitely a level of being able to celebrate. Spirit is really in this energy of like kind of pulling back and getting a bird's eye view of things during this full moon and allowing that to charge your system. Spirit is also encouraging us to allow ourselves to celebrate how far it is that we've come in our own spiritual, physical, mental, emotional development. Okay, there is definitely cause for celebration here. I almost want to say, allow yourself to celebrate this weekend. The full moon is officially tomorrow, the 9th of September. That is a Friday. And I'm definitely getting a strong message here of if you want to celebrate, like Monique, yesterday was your birthday. Have a birthday party this weekend, or any ways that you would like to celebrate your progress. Please allow yourself to do that this weekend. That was a pretty strong message. Okay, anything else you want to say, Spirit, before we move forward? I want to move to my next deck here, and I actually want to talk about love messages. Ooh, okay, Spirit, I was literally just saying I want to talk about love messages. Spirit is confirming that with the Two of Cups here. All right, so we're going to switch decks, switch gears, and the Love Oracle. Okay. Yes, you had to tell yourself. You had to what do you want to do in regards to self-love? Yeah, let's talk about that. Give me a second. There's a deck I want to grab. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to pause for a moment. Yes, we're going to talk about love right quick. I'm going to pause for just a moment, and I'm going to go pick out some new decks for love, and then we will be right back. All right, all right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back. So, next we are going to get into a bit of a love part of this reading. So let's get some love messages here for this full moon energy. Now, I did mention a little earlier in the session, and if you're tuning in later on, don't worry. This will be saved up so that you can watch it later. So if you missed the beginning, you can go back and watch it later. But I did mention that there is still a little bit of Piscean energy that's going to be involved with this full moon, as the full moon is going to be winding down through the constellation of Pisces. And a message that I channeled for the sign of Pisces, for the energy of Pisces, is I highly encourage you guys to check that reading out, even if you don't have a Pisces placement. The title of that, I did end up changing the title of it. The title is now No More Conformity, and that's on period. And part of, there was a bit of a love connotation to that reading, in terms of potentially, you know, being able to reach some level of divine partnership, as the reading did end with an appearance between the Emperor and the Empress. But really, that message was all about no longer allowing anyone to tell you who to be or what to be, or tell you who you are or who you should be, and not conforming to those energies again anymore. And it's all about loving yourself more. And part of the message that's already come through for this full moon here, that's technically officially going to be exact in the constellation of Aquarius, is in some ways that you are looking to revolutionize your life or create something new to honor yourself more, having greater sense of pride and self-love. How it is you want your interpersonal relationships may actually be helping or hindering that process. And part of the message in that reading, again, go and watch that Pisces reading if this is resonating with you, because we're getting into the love part of this full moon message. Pay very close attention to the ways that people are communicating with you, what it is they're saying about you, how it is they may be passing judgment on you, because also you could understand, while you could understand how their opinions of you or how their alignment may not be conducive to what it is you want to create more of or better of in your life, how it is you want to be honoring and nurturing yourself and loving yourself better. Also, you will be able to see just how they think of themselves or how they speak of themselves, and that could give you great insight as to whether or not you want to be even associated with these people anymore. You know, and it's not really a hate type thing. This is not meant to create greater divisiveness in life, in the collective, but it's really also about loving yourself enough to understand and know how these interpersonal relationships and or love connections may be hindering your process, okay, and your progress. So go ahead and watch that Pisces reading if you haven't done so already, to get a greater view on that. The title of that reading is No More Conformity, and that's on period. Yeah? All right, let's get these love messages here. Love messages for the collective, for the full moon in Aquarius. We're working with, I was called to work with the Love Oracle cards because I like to use those cards to look at the blockages and the shadow aspects of love and interpersonal relationships on period. And exactly, the best way to love others is to deal with them fully respecting who they are choosing to be. And while you are exactly seeking techniques, that's perfect. And while you are doing that, if you find that that's not an energy you need or want in your life, that's not an energy that's conducive to what it is you want to create more of in your life, how it is you want to honor yourself in better ways, then it is your right to choose whether you associate with them or not. And it's out of love for them and love for yourself as well. I see you as you are, and I respect that, but I also respect myself, and I realize that I cannot have or do not want to have that kind of energy in my situation, in my circle, in my energetic resonance, in my energetic vibration. Because we do rub off on each other energetically. Okay. And that's just a natural thing. That's how energy works. We influence each other energetically without even really having to do much or say much at all. Right. All right. One more shuffle. So let's talk about this, because I really want to talk about the challenges that we're facing here. What could be coming up for you? What you could be realizing in terms of this energy and how we can best work with it. Yes? Here we go. First card you have is the Runner. One of the big things that you could be noticing right now is... well, first of all, y'all could be dealing with a runner type of energy, okay? But what I'm getting with this is an individual that is running from themselves. And you would know that they're running from themselves because they are constantly projecting onto other people their imperfections, or they're constantly picking out or pointing out other people's imperfections, constantly telling people about themselves, blah, blah, blah. Now, that... could be an effect of Mercury retrograde moving through the constellation of Virgo. Okay. Spirit is influencing me to say, in terms of true sidereal astrology, Mercury does not exit Virgo and go back into Leo. Virgo is a big constellation, and Mercury's retrograde, in terms of true sidereal astrology, or also known as constellational astrology, Mercury stays in the constellation of Virgo. But during this Mercury retrograde, you could really get a bird's eye view of how this person or these people are runners, constantly projecting, constantly looking at other people and telling them about themselves, because they are lacking in an ability to look at themselves. So they take that energy out on you or on others, okay? Now, also, you could be dealing with a runner type of masculine energy, okay? What's going on here? What else do we want to say for the collective? Love messages. What are the challenges we're facing? Bam. Ooh, honey. The next card is the Golden Mirror. And the Golden Mirror talks about a narcissistic, one-sided relationship. Self-absorbed individual, narcissist, one-sided relationship, even love bombing. Okay? Be very careful of love bombing. And damn, you guys, the Mirror. Oh, man. Now, instead of really just focusing outside of ourselves. Okay, perfect. And then the next card out here that came out is a self-indulgence, okay? Which actually, I know that doesn't sound good at first, but actually the self-indulgence card in this deck is a very good one, because it talks about focusing on self-work, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. There's that Sun in Leo energy, okay? But it's all about the mirror. It's all about the mirroring effects. And while... Oh, honey, Monique, girl, we haven't even gotten to Mars retrograde yet. Yo, this is a total sidebar here, but Mars retrograde, I'm personally feeling like is going to be pretty scary. And actually, we could talk about this. This is an appropriate time to talk about this, because what these cards are talking about here is the mirroring effect. Okay, recognizing the associations that you have. You woman, you, what's up, baby? Recognizing the social associations that you have, the people that you have in your circle, the people that are constantly around you, and recognizing how they may be running away from themselves. That is a great way for you to say, okay, I don't want to be a part of that. But that's also going to be providing you with a mirror into yourself. Because if you are an energetic vibration to these people, or if you've been associated with these people or this relationship for so long, there is something within you that has you connected to that, okay? So in this energy of pulling back and representing or understanding what interpersonal relationships are not conducive to you, that's also giving you a mirror. It's providing you with a mirroring effect to see, okay, what's going on within me? And then here goes that self-indulgence energy of doing that shadow work for yourself. Okay? Now, Mars retrograde. Mars, okay, Mel. It was so good to see you. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. It was great to see you. Enjoy the rest of your day, yeah? So I feel like it's a little bit early to start talking about this because Mars doesn't actually go retrograde until Halloween, October 31st. But I already feel like what's going on in this situation right now, what's going on collectively, and especially this full moon, which is inspiring us to take greater steps to love and nurture and honor ourselves in those ways. I feel like this full moon in Aquarius here is we might be in pre-shadow. We might be, because I do what's going on, and I mean like collectively speaking, not just this collective of us here or the spiritual community, but in the world as a whole. There's a big revolution coming, and I ended up recording a very emotionally charged video about this for Patreon, but I haven't put it out yet. I've been very reluctant to share this message, and I have to be very careful of what I say here on YouTube. But I feel like collectively speaking, especially with this influence of finding greater ways to revolution our lives, to honor and love ourselves better in much better ways, this Aquarius full moon is like a big time catalyst. Now we do have another new moon and another full moon before Mars officially goes retrograde, but it's starting to ramp up. I feel like collectively speaking, we are starting to see just how we have been manipulated, taken advantage of, left out in the cold, how our lives are being destroyed. And I feel like this full moon is it's absolutely a big activation point to really get that energy flowing. And by the time Mars goes retrograde, things are going to start to pop off. The shit's really going to start to hit the fan. I mean, it's already starting. You can see it. If you just keep yourself up to snuff, abreast of, current events, and I really highly recommend that you guys focus your attention on other sources of the media other than the mainstream media, in other words, independent journalism, because the mainstream media is not giving us all the information. It's not really telling us what's really going on in the world. But if you just keep a basic awareness of this energy, you would see that there are big revolutions coming. And so I kind of feel like Mars being retrograde, Mars starts his retrograde motion on October 31st. Of 2022, and then finishes his retrograde motion late March. I want to say like March 23rd of 2023. That's going to be a pretty scary time period, especially since Mars is going to be retrograde in Taurus. Taurus is the ruler of the second house. This is your money, how it is you make money, monetary value, your values system. Okay? I really feel like some shit's gonna hit the fan. It's really gonna be popping off during Mars retrograde. The day before your birthday, yeah, Archangel. I'm definitely feeling that pre-shadow, but for me as an Aries, Mars is my ruling planet, and I already can see how things are gonna be really be popping off. Okay, I mean, Mars retrograde brings a time period where people could be overly selfish, could be overly focused on themselves, overly selfish, but anger and hostility can really be much more possible during that time. And with Mars moving, Mars is another planet that's not going to leave the sign that it's in, or the constellation that it's in. Mars retrograde stays in Taurus, and then he continues his forward motion through Taurus as he moves forward. So money systems, food, right? Because Taurus represents or rules the earth, which is food and all that kind of stuff. When is Mars retrograde? Yes, Mars retrograde starts on October 31st, on Halloween, y'all. Girl, bro. I mean, all of this, but you see, all of this is already starting. The mirror. Okay, well, you could see how we have the runner, because politicians and corporations are running away from the truth of the situation, right? You can see the mirroring elements are already starting. The golden mirror and the mirror, they're already starting. The self-indulgence is already starting in terms of doing that shadow work, working on self-worth, focusing on yourself, doing that healing work. You guys, shit's gonna hit the fan. during Mars retrograde. And I definitely feel like this this full moon in Aquarius is an activation point. Okay, so let's keep going here. This is really supposed to be the love section of this reading, but let's continue. I want to move to this oracle deck here. Messages for the collective in terms of love and interpersonal relationships. What is being activated during this full moon? What are we focusing on at this time? Retrograding in a fixed earth sign, trying to endure through an ether of fiery cement. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. Messages, please. Love messages here. What's going on? Breakthrough. Absolutely. There is definitely the potential for a breakthrough in terms of the relationships that you have with people. Well, okay, see, y'all, I'm talking about this from the true siderealist system. What you're speaking of Mars going into Gemini before and going retro, that is tropical astrology. I don't practice tropical astrology here. We do true sidereal astrology, which is also known as constellational astrology. Okay, breakthrough. There is the potential for a breakthrough here. Okay, some of you could really, during this full moon, you could have the clarity of mind and the powerful injection of power to really break yourself free from runner chaser relationships, codependent toxic relationships. Okay, the breakthrough really could be happening for you, or you could be working through this breakthrough throughout the Mercury retrograde, which is the rest of the month. Okay, anything else here? Well, it might be in Vedic. It might be. Vedic astrology and sidereal astrology are fairly similar, but what I practice is true sidereal astrology, which places the beginning of the zodiac in a slightly different place than Vedic or sidereal astrology. But then also true sidereal astrology incorporates Ophiuchus into the system, and it also incorporates the true sizes of the constellations. They're not all 30 degrees, and also when you incorporate Ophiuchus, they can't be all 30 degrees because 13 is not divisible by 360 in equal 12 equal segments. So that's another part of the situation. All right, keep continuing. Love messages here. What's going on for this Aquarius full moon in terms of love and personal relationships? Okay. The next card out here is subtle energy. But it did kind of come out in reverse. So what I want to say about this is this energy may not be so subtle, but also it could have been subtle up until this point. But now there's something about it not being so subtle any longer. So in terms of your interpersonal relationships and or love here, there's something could be blown wide open during this time. But also that is the breakthrough, or part of the element of a breakthrough that you could be receiving here. So you could be able to fine tune or tune into cues up Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball. I love you. That's hilarious. But literally, this literally could be a situation that, like, you're coming into these relationships or addressing things in your relationships in like a wrecking ball. Okay, it's not so subtle anymore. You're able to see it now. You're able to perceive of it. And then finally, you have judgment. Now be very careful with the judgment energy here, because it's not about judging these people in as they are. It's not about judging someone. It's not about a judge of their character. Be very careful with that, okay? Aquarius is not one to judge someone's character. Aquarius is one to judge or assess the situation, and then because Aquarius in the tarot is depicted as the King of Swords. Okay, so be very careful. It's not about judging people on the basis of their character. It's about judging your relationship with them and being very black or white about it, being very objective about it. Is this getting me what I want? Is this leading me towards what I want? Or is this hindering my progress? So for those of you that are dealing with romantic situations that you have, like say a runner, a chaser dynamic, whatnot, whatever, it's really about having that ability to perceive of the subtleness of the situation, to see deeper into the situation, to have the breakthrough that you would need so that you can make an appropriate judgment call. Is this leading me down the path of what it is I want to receive and achieve? Is this providing me with what I know I am deserving of, with what I know I'm worthy of? Is this honoring my sense of self-worth? Or is this not? And I feel like you're going to be able to get that insight of the subtleness of the situation, to have that breakthrough to say, oh, actually it's not. Then I guess I'm going to have to act appropriately. Again, it's not about judge a character. It's about an assessment of the situation in terms of, is it honoring you in the best way possible? Period. Period. Let's get into some tarot here. But the runner, see, there you go. Look at it objectively. Is you dealing with this runner type of energy holding you back? Do you really need to be be objective about it? Do you, at this point, do you really need to reconcile? Is it really worth it? Is it even possible? How long has this runner energy been involved? Like, when is enough enough? Honestly, the sun in Leo influencing you to take great pride in yourself. When do you say enough is enough? I know I deserve better and I'm going to give myself permission to go after it. Reconcile with yourself. That's right, Jeannie. I'm going to give this one more shuffle. And then we're going to get into some tarot here about the situation. One last shuffle here. Oh, come now. Last shuffle. There it is. All right. What's up, Akira? What's going on here? Well, oh, okay. The whole deck is reversed then, but some of the cards have come out upright. Reverse is necessary here. Okay, well, I understand that, Monique. I understand that. It's a very that I totally understand that there. But this really could be providing you with this breakthrough that you need. Now, we have a number of cards that have come out. The deck has been reversed, but one specific card did come out upright. And that is, in fact, the Five of Swords. Now, Monique, we do have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands did come out here, but it's reversed. Two of Pentacles reversed. The Magician reversed. The Three of Wands reversed. Okay? For my tarot readers, for those of you that are familiar with the tarot, this is clear and plain and bright as day. Overall energy is the King of Pentacles. Reversed. Okay? But I want to show it to you reversed, and then I want to turn the deck upright. Because what it feels, this is confirming that these are individuals, or these are circumstances or situations that are not conducive to you, a greater sense of yourself. And also specifically what I'm getting with this King of Pentacles reversed here is lack of commitment, but also lack of physical structure in one's life. And okay, so Monique, for you specifically, if this person, I mean, it was great, and then he lost his job and he drifted. So, okay, then if he drifted, he needs to drift. He needs to go work on getting some level of stability within himself. And again, this is not about judge of character. This is about a judge of, am I able to receive what it is that I want here in terms of this situation? And I feel like for you specifically, and maybe this is a greater level of a greater message for the collective here, Are you holding yourself back from being able to receive what it is you truly want or desire? I mean, if you were to let go of the situation at this point and just follow your dreams and focus on having the space open to attract what it is that you want, it doesn't mean that he won't necessarily come back in the future if it's meant to be. But at this point, chasing after the situation is not helping, is not conducive to your hopes and dreams, what it is you truly want. You're literally blocking the manifestation, needlessly going back and forth on it without a solid foundation, and you're not able to receive what it is that you desire. This is a self-sabotaging energy, 5 of Swords. Okay? Now, I want to turn the deck upright here because underneath the King of Pentacles is the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Hierophant, the 8 of Cups, the Chariot, and the Queen of Swords. Finally, with that, Piscean energy of the High Priestess. Yep. And what I'm getting with, and it's so we want commitment from these people. We want commitment from these energies. But it seems it's a show to push you to separate your resources from hers. And then when it's ready for you to time to move out. Hey, Bernetti. Yes, it's good to see you. I am very, very well. Happy new moon or full moon. Happy full moon to you. Now, we want commitment from these individuals. We want to offer commitment from these individuals. But what's the truth of the matter? Ace of Swords. And the truth of the matter says to you, well, it's a tough lesson, but what I heard with the Hierophant here is, it is what it is. And that's the message that Monique, if you identify with being a Virgo, did you watch that Virgo reading? It is what it is. It is. Hey, Charlotte. It is what it is. And what that is you got to walk away in order for you to move forward with what it is that you want, to move forward in your soul path, to move forward in alignment with yourself. And you're just going to have to cut it out. At this point, Queen of Swords, there is no being objective here. Objectivity has flown right out the window. This may be a level of aggression here. And maybe, for whomever is resonating with this, maybe you had to get angry. Maybe you had to get not resentful. I don't like saying that, but maybe you had to get annoyed, pissed off, and just say, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. There's no more objectiveness. The objectiveness has flown out the window long, long ago. Assertive. Okay, that's good. I like that. Assertive. That's much better. You had to put some Mars on it. And with the Mars retrograde that we're about to experience, that anger is very necessary. It's going to be destructive. But we needed to get angry. We needed to be pushed to our limits. Humans do that. We don't change unless we absolutely have to. At one moment, what will show us that we're ready to make that change is when we get real pissed off about the situation. Because that angry energy can then be transmuted or redirected into taking the steps that are needed. While grumbling and cussing all the way, but now we're taking the steps. We're taking the action that's needed to make these changes for ourselves. Right? It is what it is, y'all. Mad as hell paves your way to your heaven. Absolutely. I know for me, I dealt with a lot of depression and sadness for a very, very long time. But it wasn't until I got so pissed off and so angry with being sad all the time, with sitting around crying about shit all the time. I was like, no, I am not going to sit here and cry about this anymore. I am going to do something about it. Also, something that I found for myself over the month of August was I got so angry with myself for constantly staying in the same energetic vibration and then crying about it when it was turning out the same way over and over again. I got so frustrated and angry with myself. I was like, no, Eric, you're going to change now because you have no one else to blame at this point but yourself, right? So pick yourself up, dry those tears, and go do something about it this time. Okay, sorry. Yep. Yes, go back and rewatch that Virgo reading. Why am I keeping myself in a rut? Exactly. And then that puts you in direct alignment with that Chariot energy. Because your soul, your spirit, your higher self, God, source, creator even, doesn't want you to be in that rut. You find yourself in that rut for a very real reason, and maybe it was planned, part of the life mission. Because now you can change it. Now you can do something about it. Now you can walk. Now you can dig yourself out of that rut. Yep. Being in that energy, being in that angry energy is showing you how you have been blocking your manifestations and is getting you in direct alignment with your soul. What I'm getting with this Chariot energy is our souls coming forward and saying, okay, so do you want to listen to me now? Do you want to follow through with the guidance now? Or do you want to keep swimming around in this cesspool of karma? Are you done with the karma? Are you done with the suffering? Because I have a plan. I have a direction. We can go this way. Let's do that. The Chariot. Beautiful. Beautiful, you guys. Good mirror mantra. I was not put here to suffer. All my needs are met at all times. Exactly. Sometimes you got to say, cut it out. Yep. You wrote yourself a note on your mirror. You're too pretty to be sad. Yes, I love that, Charlotte. I fucking love that. That is excellent. You ready to be done or not? Yep. Closing messages. I want to get closing messages from the Lover's Oracle. Closing messages, please, Spirit, for the collective. From the Lover's Oracle. For this full moon in Aquarius energy. Closing messages, please. Encouragement. Loving messages, please. Closing guidance. Okay. No more crying over things that weren't making us happy in the first place. Absolutely. First card you have here is this beautiful one. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do. For it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. 100% Aquarian energy. 100%. This is why Aquarian energy cannot be emotionally detached when revolutionizing or changing things, because that's when the guilt they can be susceptible to that guilt. It's not about guilt. It's about being true to yourself, honoring yourself, having pride in yourself, and honoring that pride. Yes? Next you have, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Excellent. And finally, surrender. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go, and all will work out. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And you see, with this card here, you do have that full moon right up there. I love that. And even though, yes, the full moon is a time of empowerment, I do feel like there is this level of pulling back, okay, and surrendering to the process, surrendering to that higher perspective, and allowing that to empower you in how you can move forward in alignment with your soul, in a greater alignment with your soul. Yes? All right, guys. I am going to leave it there. I want to go have some lunch, and then Allie, you and I are going to chat, and then I'm going to call it a day. But I love you all so very much. Happy full moon to you. I hope this full moon provides you with all of the power and insight that you needed. Yes, or that you need. I love you all so very much. I don't know the next time that I'm going to be coming live because I want to allow myself the energetic space to finish the next round of channeled messages for the collective, but I'm thinking maybe sometime next week. Yeah? I love you all so friggin' much. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy full moon to you. Have a great weekend. Celebrate. Have a party. Yeah? Okay. I love you guys. And I'll see you soon. Bye.